Fargo Police Chief Dave Zibolski is here for our monthly chat with the Chief. Nice to see you, Chief. How are you?
Doing well, Scott. Good to see you as well.
So a couple of things to talk about. One, it's inevitable that every 4th of July you have a whole lot of folks letting off fireworks, even though they're illegal in the city limits, Fargo, right?
Right.
I think West Fargo, there's a different approach on legality of it, if I'm not mistaken, inside the city limits. But there's certain times you can do that. But it's pretty much a free-for-all, isn't it?
Well, it's something that's very hard to regulate. I mean, if you look at it broadly, we make fireworks illegal, but we allow the sale of fireworks legally. So, I mean, inevitably, what's going to happen? So, I think there's not a lot the police department can do from that perspective. We respond to the calls. We try and quell the disturbance. We certainly don't want things to start on fire. But if someone wants to get serious about fireworks, start with don't let them be sold here. I mean, you got fireworks stores right down the street. What do you think people will do with them, right? So it is inevitable.
Was this year normal? Or?
Yeah, well, this year we had fewer complaints than last year, so I guess that's somewhat positive. Maybe it's just where the 4th fell and more people were out at the lake, which is a much better place to blow those fireworks off. But not just Fargo. Everywhere I've worked, this has been a 4th of July issue, no matter where you're at.
Do you? In other words, if they're going off at midnight, is there a better chance you're going to respond to that, or is it the time of day have anything to do with the response?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it's just where is it happening? In order for us to actually issue a citation, North Dakota law requires that we witness the violation. So most of the time when we go to these calls, we're not able to physically witness someone shooting off a firework, and so we'll stop and make sure that things are cleared up and advise people that this is illegal and not to do it. But these aren't the highest level priority calls for us, obviously, and when they come in bulk over the couple of days over the 4th that they do, we respond to them as we can, but again, our priority calls come first.
Gut reaction from you on 2023 related to crime. Up, down, even? What would you say?
We're down, I think. I think we are down. In terms of violent crimes, we are definitely down. Shootings, shots fired, homicides, even robberies and that. We're seeing our trends down at the moment, which I think is great news. Our mid-year report, we expect to be out by the end of July, and we'll see what the mid-year stats look like. Back in May, we talked about our 2022 year, and we had about a 2% drop overall in those crimes. So we'll see, but we're definitely continuing to concentrate in those areas, and that really leads up to a great partnership we've got going on with the ATF now as well.
Tell me about that.
So we've the last couple of years, the ATF oversees a program called NIBIN. It's the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. And what it is technology that examines firearms ballistics, casings and bullets and things from crime scenes, and across the country then through this database matches them to other crime scenes. And this has been extremely successful in a lot of areas, and we've also seen the success here in Fargo over the last 2 years where we have made an arrest or we have crime scene evidence. We run it through that system, and it matches to a crime scene where there may have been an arrest or suspects in another city, another state, just a huge force multiplier. And so we've been working with the ATF over the last year to try and expand our capacity. Right now, for our region, there isn't a machine that does these correlations. We send everything to the Twin Cities. There's a time lag, et cetera. The ATF director was in town last week at our North Dakota Chiefs of Police conference here in Fargo and made the formal announcement, also met with our team prior to, but formally announced that the ATF is going to provide our department with a NIBIN machine and a person to function that machine. So that's a huge, huge boom for our region. And they're going to establish what he's going to call the Dakota Gun Crime Intelligence Center here in Fargo and within our department. So we're very excited about this. It's great for our region as well in terms of connecting those crimes.
And I would imagine the speed at which you're doing your investigation is
absolutely. Turnaround time will reduce.
Yeah, the benefit is you get it now rather than wait for it to come back from some lab.
Absolutely.
Nationwide. Wow.
Yeah, that's good technology.
That's great. Also, you were telling me before the break that there's a facility study underway to find out where the future would basically require a police station outside of the headquarters, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. And the study is geared towards facility uses in general for the police department. And so The department has never had a comprehensive long-term facilities management plan done. And I think, one of the key pieces is adding a facilities manager to the city, which I think Becky came on a year or so ago, and being able to work with that individual to do this. So we've contract's been awarded to a local architect, JLG, and then there's a engineering firm that Roth that works with them. They're going to be starting their process of evaluating our facilities for the police department, what we currently have, and then looking at what we actually need going into the future, as well as what we currently have, how functional is it. So as you're aware, the department moved from downtown to the headquarters on 25th Street a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. And that was a much improved environment from the cramped quarters we had downtown. But the building was not designed as a police facility. It was someone else's building that we occupied. So it's bigger, it's larger, it provides us more space, which we pretty much maximized already. But it wasn't built to meet the needs of a functioning police department. And so we've got some things that we've had to change and augment in there. And that's stuff that they'll look out as well. What can we do to make that more functional? We talk about our booking station that we're trying to establish because we've got the issues with the jail. And so, again, but looking at future, what we've got, and also future facility needs. The growth of our city has been tremendous to the south. That's a big distance for our cops to travel.
Got to go where the growth is going to go, in other words.
Right, absolutely.
And that's what the study will tell you.
We'll see what the study says. Yeah, I would anticipate we need something on the south end.
Yeah. Well, what a haul from downtown, basically, to figure how far South Fargo's.
Yeah, and continuing to grow. I mean, we're going to be at 100th Avenue before you can shake a stick.
Well, good. Getting ahead of it. That sounds great. Chief, thanks for the time as always, and appreciate the update.
Thanks, Scott. Have a good day.